armed robbery. 12 News reporter Derek Jones, he's live at the scene with the latest. Plus, 2 men have been indicted by a grand jury in a scam targeting a Southeast Texas man. How that scam unfolded, and 2 people killed in a shooting at a Dallas ICE facility. What we know about the suspect and the eerie messages they left behind. 12 News Daybreak starts now. Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for waking up with us here on Daybreak, here on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong. Your time's just about to turn 7:01, so let's go ahead and get a first look at your weather with meteorologist Jeff Gerber. And first, a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Live Sky Cam network. Looks like the sun's about to come up over the horizon here in a few minutes up there in Jasper. Jeff Gerber standing by right now with today's forecast. How's it looking out there, Jeff?
Well, you can see Jasper's mostly clear skies, and they'll see dry conditions today. But you get south of I-10, we do have some scattered showers that are right along that cold front. It's made it way down towards the coast, and eventually will push out into the Gulf. But right now, it's right along the coast, and that's where we're seeing a few showers. Some very heavy rain over towards Galveston Bay right now. But in the immediate area, we have some rain towards Sabine Pass. We've been seeing a few sprinkles through Orange County. Around Sabine Lake, but looks like things are starting to calm down a little bit. But we still can see a few showers this morning along the coast, but most of us will be drying out for today. Temperatures right now from around 70 in Jasper to about 76 in Port Arthur, so a lot of middle to lower 70s behind that front. Temperatures climb into the middle 80s today, 85 to maybe about 87, as clouds, at least here in the Triangle, start to clear out. Lakes area, you'll see mostly sunny skies through a good portion of the day. As we look at satellite radar, there's the front. It's going to continue to push south. More on that coming up in weather.
All right, Jeff. New this morning out of Orange, police looking for the man behind an armed gas station robbery. And our Daybreak reporter Derek Jones, he's live out there at the scene just off of Interstate 10 with the latest. Derek, what have we learned so far this morning?
Hey Mark, what we learned so far is, well, I'm here at the Gulf Station off of I-10 and Lutcher Drive, and behind me you can see the gas station is well lit up. It's the only standalone gas station in this area. Now, police reported to a scene last night around 10:30, as well as our crew, to an armed robbery of a suspect who is still on the loose. Police say just before 10:30, a man walked in with a weapon and demanded cash from the clerk. She was not hurt, and she was shaken up and taken to the hospital as precaution, but we can confirm that she has been released. She was just up here a few moments ago, and she was looking for her cell phone, thinking it might have been dumped in a trash can. The suspect ran off with a little bit of cash and a pack of tobacco, and as of this morning is still on the run. Orange police have not yet released a description. Now, there was another armed robbery 2 nights ago about 15 minutes away at an Easy Mart gas station in Vinton, Louisiana at the Texas border, where 3 armed men demanded money and got away with alcohol and tobacco. We do not know if these 2 crimes are related. Now, we're still working on getting more information about the scene and the crime, and police are asking if you have any information or were in the area at the time of this robbery to please contact them. Derek Jones in Orange, Texas, 12 News.
All right, Derek. And this morning, 2 men have been indicted by a grand jury in connection to a $20,000 scam targeting a Southeast Texas man. They were indicted on felony theft charges. You see them right there on your screen. Now, according to investigators, these guys made the victim believe that he had received $50,000 as a refund by accident, and they said that he needed to return that money to them right away. That victim eventually handed them $20,000 in person when they allegedly went to his Brentwood home. Now, the man's bank, they caught on when he went back for that remaining $30,000. And 3 men have been indicted in connection with an August carjacking in Beaumont that ended with shots fired as the victim fled. Now, according to police, these suspects right here, Arthur Goolsby IV, Christopher Harris, and Brandon Johnson, lured that victim to Pine Haven on the pretense of a party, and that's when they robbed him at gunpoint, stealing his cash, jewelry, and SUV. That stolen vehicle tracked to an apartment complex using license plate readers. Goolsby, he later confessed, and Harris, well, he was tied to the scene through an ankle monitor from a previous crime. And a Beaumont man has been indicted in connection with a triple shooting that left 3 people wounded and at 2 separate scenes. Police say that 33-year-old Justin Keith Payne was charged after gunfire erupted during a disturbance at a Delaware Street home. 1 victim found there, while 2 more were discovered during a traffic stop on East X Freeway. And across Texas now, investigators are continuing to search for the motive after a man opened fire at an Immigration and Customs Enforcement field office in Dallas Wednesday. The Department of Homeland Security says 1 detainee was killed and 2 others critically injured in a sniper attack. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
This morning, growing questions and fallout from the deadly shooting at an ICE field office in Dallas, with top officials promising heightened security.
Making sure that our ICE officers have the ability to operate safely. In fact, they've seen a 1,000% increase in violent attacks against them.
A gunman on Wednesday firing from a nearby rooftop hit a transport van, killing a detainee inside it and critically wounding 2 others before taking his own life. No officers were hurt but are believed to be the target.
Rounds that were found near the suspected shooter contain messages that are anti-ICE in nature.
Investigators releasing this image of a bullet casing etched with the words anti-ICE, along with photos of bullet holes in a window and an American flag inside the facility. Multiple senior law enforcement officials identifying the suspect as 29-year-old Joshua John. His brother told NBC News John didn't have strong feelings about ICE and wasn't interested in politics on either side as far as he knew. President Trump blaming Democrats, posting, "I am calling on all Democrats to stop this rhetoric against ICE and America's law enforcement right now." Top Republicans with similar messages.
To every politician who is using rhetoric demonizing ICE and demonizing CBP, stop.
One Dallas pastor who's been praying with other clergy members outside Dallas ICE headquarters, calling for justice for migrants and against violence, speaking out against the shooting.
It couldn't be more opposite of the kind of message that we've been trying to witness to. Among
the voices now calling for common ground.
In Austin, police have made an arrest in connection to a story that we've been following since Saturday, a newborn baby found inside of a dumpster. The dumpster located at an apartment complex in North Austin, and at this time, police have not publicly identified who they arrested in the case. Officials previously said the baby who was rescued is going to be placed in foster care after she is discharged from the hospital. And across the nation now, President Trump expected to sign a new TikTok deal later today. According to 2 White House officials, it could facilitate the sale of TikTok from a Chinese-based company to a group of American investors. Now, once that deal goes into effect, TikTok's U.S. operations will be run by a new joint venture company. Current owner ByteDance is going to hold less than 20% of the stock in the new company. The structure is going to comply with a bipartisan law passed last year that sought to ban TikTok if the platform was not sold to a U.S.-based owner this year. And President Trump has canceled a meeting with top congressional Democrats that was originally set to take place later this week. That move sets up a tough bipartisan fight in the nation's capital with a possible government shutdown looming. Before the cancellation, key Democrats were pushing to make health care and the rising cost a top priority. The president, though, pushing back, claiming that their demands were unserious and ridiculous.
Mr. President, if you're watching television, shut it off and come sit down and negotiate with us.
And at this point, there's no clear path forward on a bipartisan agreement. And this morning, former FBI Director James Comey could soon face federal charges despite prosecutors and investigators determining that there was no evidence to charge him. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio in Washington this morning with the details.
This morning, sources tell ABC News the Justice Department is preparing to ask a grand jury to indict former FBI Director James Comey on allegations he lied to Congress. It comes after the president publicly pressured Attorney General Pam Bondi to prosecute those who he sees as his political enemies, including Comey, New York Attorney General Letitia James, and California Senator Adam Schiff. On social media, Trump called Comey, quote, guilty as hell, adding nothing is being done and we can't delay any longer.
We have to act fast. If they're not guilty, that's fine. If they are guilty or if they should be charged, they should be charged. And we have to do it now.
Prosecutors have been evaluating whether Comey lied to lawmakers during his congressional testimony related to the investigation into ties between Russia and Trump's 2016 presidential campaign.
I'm not sure I can apply a number scale, but I would say in the main it was done by the book, it was appropriate, and it was essential that it be done.
Now, the president ordering Bondi to install one of his former personal lawyers, Lindsay Halligan, as the new U.S. attorney for Eastern Virginia, the same office that had been investigating Comey for 3 months. When Halligan reported to work this week, sources tell ABC News prosecutors presented her with a memo recommending that Comey not be charged with a crime, saying there was not enough evidence. Sources tell us Halligan is poised to ignore that recommendation and try to seek an indictment anyway.
Whatever the proposed indictment is, even though we haven't seen it, even though we haven't read it, even though it hasn't been published, we know it must be extremely, extremely weak and without merit.
And meanwhile, President Trump demanding an investigation into what he's calling sabotage at the United Nations General Assembly. It comes after a series of technical difficulties, including the one you're about to see here on your screen, an escalator stopping just as he and the First Lady arrived, forcing them to walk up the stairs. Then, as he was about to deliver his speech, the teleprompter failed. There was also audio issues. All right, coming up next, 12 News celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. We are heading inside Beaumont's DAR studio, where the founder is uplifting Hispanic youth and families throughout Southeast Texas.
And the rain, for the most part, has moved out of Southeast Texas. We still have a few showers right near the coast. That's where that cold front is. They should be moving out a little bit later on this morning, and a dry forecast for the next several days is coming up. We'll look at that coming up in weather next.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
I wouldn't say that I was like a partier, but I would say that I was a social butterfly. So we would just always drink. That night, I went through a red light and I T-boned another vehicle. And I just remember thinking like, oh no. Right after the DWI, I lost my license and I did 30 days in jail. I could have killed him because I decided to be reckless. I have a ton of regrets. I'm Katie. 5 years ago, I got a DWI and I'm still paying for it every day.
As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, don't mess with Texas, means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, don't mess with Texas means don't litter.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn, here with one of the most important hurricane tips, having an evacuation plan. First, gather food, water, and medicine before storing it in an emergency kit. Plan well in advance where you're going, how you'll get there, and if you'll need to transport any pets, small children, or the elderly. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
It's now 7:14 on this Thursday morning. Temperatures falling back into the 70s here around the Triangle. Here's the view from Packer La Prairie, downtown Beaumont, and looking Pretty nice out there this morning. A little bit of clearing skies to our north. Still some clouds here around the triangle with the front just to our south along the coast. You can see the view from our 12 News studio. We have mostly cloudy skies overhead here. These clouds will slowly move out as we go towards later on this afternoon. Up in the lakes area, you're already looking at some clear skies or just a very few clouds thanks to the front being well down towards the coast. And it's a little bit cooler towards the lakes as well. Jasper's at 70, Woodville's at 71, Kirbyville's at 72, Silsbee's now dropped to 73. Still been holding there in the middle 70s here around the triangle from 74 in Beaumont here to about 75 in Orange and 76 in Port Arthur. Have some rain along the coast. Once again, that's where the front is, right here near the coast, and that's where we've been seeing most of the activity as far as some showers and thunderstorms. Pretty good little thunderstorm right over Bolivar now, and it's working its way east. That should stay clear of us or just stay south of us out into the Gulf, but a few of those showers could eclipse, say, Sabine Pass over the next hour or so. But most of the area is dry and should stay dry through the day. We've seen maybe a little bit of sprinkles through Orange County, but looks like Sabine Pass getting some heavier rains right now. Here's the front. Like I said, just made it to the coast. It'll continue to kind of push slowly out into the Gulf, and out ahead of it, that's where the heavy rains are. Behind it, we're already seeing clearing skies through most of North Texas, and we'll see some of those skies start to clear out here in southeast Texas as well. Temperatures climb from the 70s to the 80s, and we'll stop there in the 80s today. We'll be in the middle to upper 80s, and then we'll fall back through the 70s for this evening. Eventually, we'll stop in the 60s for tonight. So tonight's going to be fairly mild as we walk out the door early on your Friday. Out in the Atlantic, we've got what's left over of Gabrielle moving out. We have tropical storm Umberto right now. It's starting to strengthen, and then we have this area of disturbed weather. They're thinking an 80% chance of development. Don't let this little box fool you here. We're not going to see this into the Gulf, but it could come close to maybe part of the East Coast. And then Umberto, winds are at 45 right now. It's going to make a turn towards the north before it gets to the East Coast, but they're expecting it to be maybe a major hurricane with winds up to about 115. So watching these, but they will not be affecting us here in the northwestern Gulf. Forecast for today, decreasing clouds, highs in the middle 80s, a little bit of a northwesterly wind at 3 to 8, couple of coastal showers early. Tonight, mostly clear, back into the middle 60s, and then we'll see more of that as we go through the next 7 days. Pretty much every day we'll be looking at highs in the middle to upper 80s, lows into the 60s, and a dry forecast all the way through the middle of next week.
Yeah, it's looking like a great weekend out there. Certainly excited to see this cold front finally roll through. It's been anticipated all week long here.
I'm waiting for some of those nice mild mornings, and we'll start those tomorrow morning.
Fall time in southeast Texas. I love it, Jeff. And just a reminder, you can download our app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can check the app or the radar by going to the radar tab in that app. And as we continue to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, we want to recognize Tanya Castellan, who is the founder of the nonprofit DAR Studios. It offered lots of learning opportunities for Beaumont and the Hispanic community. And 12 News reporter Daniela Tabuada-Palau, she spoke to Castellan about how the nonprofit has been able to grow and support the Beaumont community.
When Tanya first told me she was opening DAR Studio, I immediately made myself available.
Elias Ibarra is talking about Tanya Castellan. She opened DAR Studio in 2022 to help empower Southeast Texas youth through workshops and classes.
It is hard being first generation. You know, you are having not only to learn the language, but you're also having to learn all these important life skills.
Classes that have already made a difference for high school student Lainey Rocha.
It's already created such a deep impact in my life.
An impact that has grown in size.
The classes did grow. We outgrew our place, and we were now able to partner up with different partners who have opened up their venues.
And community support.
Each year, we collaborate with more and more business partners. We have more and more children participate.
Dar is Spanish for give.
They always welcome you with open arms.
For volunteers like Elias Ibarra, the name of the studio is a living example of what Tanya stands for.
Sometimes I question, how does she do all that she does? Seeing the issues that students deal with in our community is really hard, but it requires attention. And I think, having people like Tanya care and create these workshops is beneficial.
But for Tanya, it's part of her life's mission.
Being able to put something together and allow everyone to be part of it, it's a great feeling.
In Beaumont, Daniela Tabuada-Palau, 12 News.
And speaking of Hispanic Heritage Month, tonight Officer Cesar Bietti with the Community Relations Division of the Beaumont Police Department is hosting a Spanish language town hall style meeting. It's part of an ongoing effort to build trust and share resources directly with Spanish speaking residents. That meeting starts at 6:30 tonight at Our Lady of the Assumption Catholic Church in the Avenues neighborhood. And your time is now 7:19 here on 12 News Plus. Time for some trending news. Rihanna and ASAP Rocky, they just welcomed baby number 3. And yes, the daughter, it's the daughter she's been waiting for, essentially, here. Big news for the stars here. Take a look on Instagram. Rihanna shared the big news with a sweet photo here of baby Rocky Irish Mayers, born September 13th. Fast asleep in a pink outfit. Very cute. Even cuter, though, the second pic featured tiny pink boxing gloves. This marks baby sister's big debut after brother Reza and Riot, and fans are living for the growing Mayers crew. Rihanna once said that she was trying for her girl, and now the family is officially complete. What's the boxing gloves about? I guess to keep you from scratching or something like that.
Probably for kind of a hint at Rocky. You know, so.
Makes sense. Yeah. Very cute. All right, so Instagram is in its feelings this week, and it's all over one simple question. Does your family pick you up from the airport or tell you to grab an Uber? User Dana posted a reel asking just that, and let's just say that the comments were divided. Some, they were shocked that anyone would leave a loved one on the curbside, while others were like, we're adults here. There's rideshare for a reason. What do you think, Jeff? Pick up your family or leave them there and let them get a taxi?
I think it depends on what's going on. If it's somebody I haven't seen in years, I'd want to go pick them up. Yeah. But if it's just, you know, they travel all the time, sure, and you just can't get out there that morning or whatever, hey, just grab an Uber this morning. I would like to come pick you up, but I can't. You know what I mean? So
I come from a family that was super thrifty, so I don't think my dad would ever let me not be picked up from the airport. We're going to save 20 bucks here. All right, so forget tipping drama. Diners, they are now talking about something new showing up on their receipts, a living wage fee. Yeah, one customer posted this viral receipt showing an extra charge added to support staff wages, and there was no warning. It was just on the bill all of a sudden. Some folks say that it's a fair way to ensure restaurant workers earn decent paycheck. Others not so thrilled about this. The internet's split. Is it a step toward fair pay or just another sneaky fee with a fancy name? Definitely sneaky, I would say.
Isn't that what a tip's for?
Yeah, that is what a tip's for. You know, I saw an interesting study about, you know, should we do away with tips and just rolling that into the cost of the food on the menu, and most people just psychologically are like, no, that's too much.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen where, you know, you don't leave a tip, but they automatically just put like 15% or 20% to add it to your bill, which I don't mind. Yeah. You know, if it was 40%, then I would say something, but 15 to 20%, I don't mind if they just automatically add that tip in there. Yep. But whatever fee that was.
Sneaky fee there, living wage fee right there.
Yeah, living wage fee, okay.
Let us know about it ahead of time next time, maybe. All right, let's go ahead and take a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network above Jasper. Your time is now 7:22 as we continue in our third hour of Daybreak here on 12 News Plus. Jeff, he's going to be right back with another look at your forecast.
We're working to get more information from Beaumont Police.
Join 12 News weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m.
We bring you the latest breaking news.
And keep you safe when weather impacts your day.
Following the excitement with your team.
Covering local issues that matter in your community.
Watch 12 News at 6 and 10 p.m. and stream on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
I was invited to a party and I drank a few glasses of wine. I take off. The next thing you know, I see 2 pairs of lights behind me. They arrest me. It hurt. Now I have an ignition interlock system in my car and I have to blow in it every day just to turn my car on. When my son sees it, I hear him in the back seat. Daddy, what are you blowing in? It's embarrassing. My name is Eric Guerra. I had just a few glasses of wine, 8 months out, and I'm still dealing with the consequences of it.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn, here with another hurricane tip, protecting yourself against damaging wind. Secure or bring inside outdoor items such as lawn furniture and trash cans to prevent them from endangering property or people. Trim or remove trees close enough to fall on your home and protect windows with permanent storm shutters or sheeting. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Welcome back. The city of Beaumont hosted an open house Wednesday night to give residents a closer look at that $264 million bond proposal that's going to be on November's ballot. City leaders, they answered questions about the 5 bond propositions, which would come with a property tax increase. If you missed this meeting, there's going to be another open house tonight for Ward 4. It's going to be at the Alice Keith Park Community Center on Highland Avenue from 6 to 8 p.m. You can find more details on 12newsnow.com.
At the bus stop this morning, it looks pretty warm, dry for most of the area. There are a couple of showers right on the coast this morning. Not bad at Recess, 78, partly to mostly cloudy, and then warm and dry on the way home at 87. Our coastal marine forecast for today, northwesterly winds at 10 to 15 knot, seas from 2 to 3 feet. Next high tide is not till later on tonight at 7:19. Our sunrise is, we passed that at 7:07 this morning. Our sun sets at 7:08. Water temperature in the upper 80s out there into the Gulf. You can see a little bit of a northeasterly wind at about 8 to 10 miles per hour off Texas Point. Look for a light chop on the inland lakes and bays for today.
And still ahead here on Daybreak, authorities searching for a suspect involved in an armed gas station robbery. Derek Jones live now with what we know so far in just a few moments, plus a community in sorrow. Family and friends mourning the loss of a standout Hampshire Finette softball player, how they are honoring her memory. And still ahead here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus. 2 decades later, the memories still linger. For many, we reflect on Hurricane Rita's massive evacuation and the lives that were lost. Your time is now 7:27 as we take a live look outside from our Roofing 911 live sky cam above Orange. We'll be right back in just a couple of minutes. Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for joining us here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong. Your time's now 7:30, so let's go ahead and take a look at the top stories this morning. First up, a former Beaumont teacher has been found not guilty after being accused of hitting a student. Gladys Jackson was charged with injury to a child after prosecutors say that she slapped a 6-year-old first grader in the mouth back in 2022. But her attorney, Ryan Gertz, said that the child attacked another teacher before being placed in Jackson's classroom, also saying that child had fights with several other students. And everyone's okay this morning after a crazy crash yesterday in Beaumont. Take a look at these images. A driver in a white Toyota smashed into the flagship mailroom on Dowland Road, going through the glass. The store says that it's going to be closed for a few days while they make repairs and get back to business. The owner's just thankful that the driver and their workers are safe. And a major water leak on 8th Street in Port Arthur, it's been fixed, but that citywide boil water notice remains in effect this morning. According to the city, there was little to no water pressure, forcing several businesses to close early. We'll update you once that notice is lifted. All right, let's switch gears now and take a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network above the 12 News studio in Beaumont. Jeff Gerber standing by with today's forecast. Jeff, that cold front just moving through our area, huh?
Yeah, it's right at the coast and moving slowly to the south. South of the front is where we're seeing most of the activity as far as rain on radar. And you can see here over towards parts of Cameron Parish, they're seeing some pretty heavy rainfall. And we're seeing some activity right along the coast. A pretty good little thunderstorm over the Bolivar Peninsula right now. Matter of fact, a severe thunderstorm warning over there towards the Bolivar Peninsula. As we move in a little bit closer, you can see the showers scattered right along the coast back into Sabine Pass. Even some heavy rain right now towards Port Arthur. That's not going to stick around very long. It should be sliding off to the east and dying down. Watching some of this rain off towards our east, that should catch maybe right along the coast there. So a couple more hours of some rain along the coast. That front will start to push southward and we'll start to dry out a little bit. Temperatures right now in the middle to lower 70s. Our day planner shows most of the day will be dry, especially once you get north of I-10. They're seeing mostly clear skies in the lakes right now. Temperatures reach up into the middle 80s, a little bit of a northwesterly wind. Tonight's going to be very mild in the 60s, and the most looks like most of the next 7 days will be like that as well. We'll have your forecast coming up.
All right, Jeff, and new this morning out in Orange, police, they are looking for a man behind an armed gas station robbery overnight. Derek Jones live just off of Interstate 10 with the latest. Derek, what we learning this morning?
Hey Mark, we're here at the Gulf Station located off of I-10 and Lutcher Drive, and the gas station is pretty well lit. As you can see behind me, there are 4 security cameras that are on the gas station, and last night our crews responded to the scene as well as police around 10:30 last night. Now police are saying just before 10:30 last night, a man walked in with a weapon and demanded cash from the clerk. The clerk was not hurt, but she was shaken up and taken to the hospital as precaution. We're able to confirm that she has been released. The suspect ran off with her cell phone as well as some money from the cash register and tobacco. He is still on the run. Orange police have not yet released a description. There was also another armed robbery 2 nights ago, 15 minutes away at an Easy Mart in Vinton, the Louisiana and Texas border, where 3 armed men demanded money and got away with alcohol and tobacco. We do not know if this is a related crime. Now, police are asking if you saw anything, if you were in the I-10 area here at this gas station, to please contact them and give them any information. Here in Orange, Derek Jones, 12 News.
All right, Derek. And of course, we're going to keep you updated online and on air on that studio as it develops. Meanwhile, 3 men have been indicted in connection with an August carjacking in Beaumont that ended with shots fired as that victim fled. Now, according to police, these 3 suspects, Arthur Goolsby IV, Christopher Harris, and Brandon Johnson, lured that victim to Pine Haven on the pretense of a party, and that's when they robbed him at gunpoint, stealing his cash, jewelry, and SUV. That stolen vehicle tracked down to an apartment complex using license plate readers. Goolsby later confessed. As for Harris, he was tied to that scene through an ankle monitor he was wearing from a previous crime. And this morning, 2 men have been indicted by a grand jury in connection with a $20,000 scam targeting a Southeast Texas man. They were indicted on felony theft charges. Now, according to investigators, these 2 guys right here made the victim believe that he had received $50,000 as a refund by mistake, and they said that he needed to return that money to them right away, with that victim eventually handing over $20,000 in person when they went to his Brentwood home. The man's bank, though, they caught on when the victim went back for the remaining $30,000. And a Beaumont man has been indicted in connection with a triple shooting that left 3 people wounded and at two separate scenes. Police say that 33-year-old Justin Keith Payne was charged after gunfire erupted during a disturbance at a Delaware Street home. 1 victim found there, while the other 2 were discovered during a traffic stop on East X Freeway. And family and friends, they are mourning the loss of a standout Hampshire Finette high school softball player, Jaylee Morales. She died over the weekend, devastating the community. Her family says that she died from complications related to asthma. 12 News reporter Spencer Plato, she spoke with members of her softball team who say that Jaylee was a hard worker, a leader, and a dedicated player.
Jaylee Morales.
She always worked, she always put in the effort, she always did her reps. She was a really good player.
Members of the Hampshire Finette softball team are beginning the school year with a heavy heart. Senior catcher Jaylee Morales died because of asthma-related complications.
Jaylee was a bright person. Every time she walked into the room, that she had the biggest smile on her face. She had a good heart. A lot of people said that she was quiet and she didn't talk very much. That was not true.
Morales' friends say the senior catcher was more than just a teammate.
She was also like my sister. We've been best friends for the past 10 years.
Grew to know her, grew to love her. We had the sisterhood of being on the same team together. Why not share blood, but you share dirt, been on the team.
Morales' former coach says she stood out on the field.
Jaylee is the type of player that every coach just strives to have.
Former softball coach Diana Sims says Morales had big softball dreams.
Never expect to lose a player before myself, and I always wonder, later in life, what it's going to be like for them. And so, again, I had no doubt Jaylee was going to be one that strived for her excellence, and I looked for the day to hear all about her life goals.
That's why Morales' sudden passing has hit her softball community hard.
It's just not really clicking to me that the person I did everything with for the past 10 years is no longer with me to do the things that we did.
Now, her friends and teammates hope to keep her legacy going strong.
I don't want her legacy to go down. I want people to remember her because she's made more of an impact than she thinks she ever would.
And there's going to be a lantern vigil for Jaylee this Sunday at 6:30 at the Hampshire Finette softball field. And we're also learning more about a 2nd grader who left his Buna ISD elementary campus Tuesday during school. He was spotted walking down Highway 62 near a laundromat. Now, after finding out that her son wasn't at school, his mother, Kimberly Smith, she called the campus, but staff told her they were going to call her back. She then reached out to the Jasper County Sheriff's Office, which confirmed that her son was indeed on the highway. Smith says that her son has special needs and he's run away before. She says that she is upset that the school never contacted her.
It was like 30 minutes after the fact that they hung up on me that they called me and told me, yeah, he was missing. But I should have been the second person. After y'all alerted the police, his mom and dad should have been the second people that y'all called.
Buna ISD, they posted on Facebook about this, saying that the district was aware that the student left campus and confirmed that they had returned. Beyond that, officials say that no further details can be released, citing privacy laws.
Hurricane Headquarters, sponsored by Entergy.
And 20 years ago, Hurricane Rita hit southeast Texas with a vengeance. 100-mile-per-hour winds extended inland all the way to Beaumont as the eye of the powerful Category 3 storm passed through the Golden Triangle, and it changed many of our neighborhoods forever. And now, when you mention Rita, many of our thoughts turn to that disastrous mass evacuation, the gridlock, and lives lost in the process. 12 News spoke with the current mayor of Nederland, who was working as an investigator for the Department of Labor in 2005. He says he still remembers the anxiety of evacuating. Here's Cameron Burchett.
I'll admit I broke down crying on the way. I just seen so much.
24 hours before Hurricane Rita hit the Gulf Coast, Jeff Darby turned on the news to hear the latest information about the incoming storm.
County Judge Carl Griffith said, "We don't think we're going to order evacuation unless something changes overnight." And it did.
Within hours, Darby and his family were on the road, evacuating from Nederland.
So we left about 10:45 from my house. For that first 45 minutes, there wasn't a car on the road. Man, I felt like I was the genius. No traffic through Beaumont, no traffic through Lumberton, no traffic through Silsbee. Got to that overpass at Evadale, taillights as far as you could see.
A route that several thousand other families were using.
It's the largest evacuation in U.S. history. They estimate between 2.2 and 3.7 million people. And I feel like all of them were in the same traffic as we were.
He remembers the different factors that added to the traffic troubles.
People were getting out of their cars and talking to other people in other cars. And when traffic would move, they'd have to get in their car. At that time, between Beaumont and Jasper, Highway 96 went from 4 lanes to 2 lanes to 4 lanes to 2 lanes several times. Construction. They were widening 4 lanes all the way, but it wasn't complete. So that made massive problems.
His family eventually made it to Waco, which is typically a 6-hour trip.
So we were on the road for 17 and a half hours.
Darby says he will never forget those hours and how Rita impacted evacuation protocols for future storms.
And I was still relatively young. I still remember a lot of details.
And the storm itself killed 7 people, but more than 100 people died in the aftermath, many while evacuating. 20 years later, Texas has improved evacuation plans and closer coordination between state and local governments. Later today at 12 News at 5 and 6 p.m., hear how Rita changed the community of Sabine Pass and left a lasting impact. And now to the Texas Hill Country, where weeks after that catastrophic flooding in Kerr County, 2 people are still missing, 8-year-old Seal Stewart and 63-year-old Jeff Ramsey. Volunteers with the United Cajun Navy have been searching for 2 months. Now, a group called Lone Star Guardians is continuing those efforts. Volunteers say that they have tried to look through every part of the riverbank from Camp Mystic, where many of the victims died, to Ingram, which is more than 10 miles downriver. They say that every time they get a lead, even a few scraps of clothing, they follow up.
We're sifting through it with rakes, our hands, our eyes, and then tomorrow I'll have our dog team come through.
And the Lone Star Guardians want to re-inspect the river with divers to continue the search and to help clear hazards. It could be well over a year, but local volunteers, they remain committed. Texas Task Force 1 is also searching the Guadalupe. A Kerr County commissioner says the state plans to search Ingram Lake sometime next month. And still ahead this morning on Daybreak on 12 News Plus in our 3rd hour here of Daybreak, the Hispanic Heritage Month. We are taking a look inside of Beaumont's DAR studio, where the founder is empowering Hispanic youth and families across Southeast Texas. But first, the barbecue family reunion happening in Grand Prairie that'll have you planning a road trip this weekend. Your time is now 7:42.
As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
The impact killed my dad and brother instantly. A man, after drinking excessively with his coworkers, ran a stop sign, T-boned my parents' Honda, and destroyed our family. He could have just said, hey, I'm not okay. There's Lyft, there's Uber, there's taxis. There's so many other options. Every day, someone else can be taken away.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn, here with some hurricane tips for protecting yourself against flooding. Take shelter in a designated storm shelter or an interior room and stay away from glass windows of doors. And if flooding begins, move to higher ground immediately. Never walk, swim, or drive through floodwaters. Remember, turn around, don't drown. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy.
Well, we've been talking about a cold front moving through. It did yesterday with a lot of rain out there, and it continues to push down towards the coast. So we still have some clouds around, especially here around the Triangle. We get up into the lake, skies are clearing out, but you can see from East Texas, southwest Louisiana, plenty of cloud cover out there. This is the view from Lake Charles on our Roofing 911 live Skycam network. When you get away from the clouds, you see some cooler temperatures. 70 degrees right now in Jasper, 71 in Woodville, 71 in Kirbyville. Silsbee's about 72. A little bit more cloud cover. Slightly warmer in Port Arthur at 76, Orange at 75, and Beaumont now we're at about 73. Here's radar. And we have still some scattered showers around Sabine Lake down towards the coast, but most of the area is dry this morning. What you see here on radar, some of these are just some false returns to the radar. But let's zoom in a little bit. You can see around Sabine Lake, still seeing a couple of showers pop up near Port Arthur, Sabine Pass, and then as you get over towards, say, High Island, Bolivar Peninsula, they're getting some very heavy rain with a thunderstorm there. That thunderstorm should stay just off the coast and just miss most of southeast Texas. Might catch Sabine Pass with a little bit more rain as we go towards mid-morning or so. So a couple of coastal showers. Once we get past this morning, I think most of this will die down. That front is right at the coast, and it's going to slowly slip into the Gulf and take the rain away from us. You can see all the heavy rain is mainly out ahead of the front as it works its way southward. Northern Texas is looking at some nice sunshine for already this morning. We'll start in the 70s. We'll stay in the 70s a good portion of the morning and then jump into the 80s as we head towards the afternoon. We'll go middle to upper 80s for highs today as those clouds really start to clear out. And then this evening we drop quickly through the 70s and eventually we'll end up in the 60s tomorrow morning. So it's going to be nice and mild as we start off on your Friday morning. Out in the Atlantic, we have what's left over of Gabrielle. We have our new tropical storm Umberto, and then we have this disturbance, which could be a tropical system fairly quickly here, an 80% chance here. Here's Umberto, winds are at 45. The track takes it fairly close to the East Coast, but it will not be directly affecting the East Coast, possibly a major hurricane there. Nothing's going to be affecting the Gulf of Mexico, so good news there. Decreasing clouds, maybe still a couple of coastal showers this morning. Temperature's going to be in the middle 80s. For tonight, we fall back into the 60s, mostly clear skies. And if you like that forecast, you're going to really like the 7-day because we see pretty much the same deal every day. Temperatures in the middle to upper 80s, lows in the middle 60s. And quiet weather, mostly sunny to sunny skies.
Great forecast. I'm just going to forget my umbrella even exists for the next few days.
For the next week.
All right, thanks, Jeff. And just a reminder, you can download our app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can check the radar by going to the radar tab in the app. All right, get your butter and bibs ready because today is National Lobster Day. This marine crustacean type shellfish is considered a seafood delicacy. It's like a giant crawfish, basically. Lobster, it comes in a range of colors. I didn't know this. It includes blue, green, yellow, even orange. I just think of the red ones, but it is bright red once cooked. Some American lobsters can even live up to 100 years old. That's a wise old lobster there. So visit your favorite seafood restaurant or cook up your best recipe today. And if lobster isn't your thing, and if you feel like taking a road trip at the same time, you can try some of the best barbecue in the state, according to Texas Monthly, at a barbecue family reunion in Grand Prairie this weekend. Sean Giggy, he has this.
When Texas Monthly puts out its list of the top barbecue joints in the state, there are some crazy people that drive all around just to try them. And then there's the rest of us who wish we could. Well, now we can.
You can just come to Grand Prairie and you can get great barbecue from Amarillo, from Houston, from Tyler, from Pecos.
Texas Monthly barbecue editor Daniel Vaughn says you can get a taste of Texas at the inaugural Barbecue Family Reunion Saturday in Grand Prairie. 8 of the best barbecue joints from around the state, including a couple local places, Pecan Lodge and Hurtado, will be there. Texas Monthly already hosts other barbecue festivals, so why add another one?
More barbecues, more better, right?
Daniel says they haven't really held one in North Texas, but more importantly, they want to honor the people who helped make Texas barbecue big. That's why they've invited former pitmasters, some of the OGs who were part of those early festivals. Hence why it's called the Barbecue Family Reunion, and hopefully the first of many.
Texas barbecue's here to stay. It's part of our culture, and it's something that we should continue to celebrate every year.
And in your health news, produce could be exposing you to more potential toxins than you think. A new study found eating a lot of fruits and vegetables with higher levels of pesticides may raise the level of pesticides in your urine. The study is from the environmental working group known for its Dirty Dozen and Clean 15 lists. That group compared USDA produce, testing it with human urine samples, and found that the more high pesticide produce you eat, the more pesticides show up in your body. Makes sense. Now, to limit your exposure, the group says to buy organic, carefully clean your produce, and choose fruits and vegetables with lower pesticide levels. And 12 News is celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, and we are highlighting the work of Tanya Castellon, the founder of DAR Studio. And we stopped in to check out the facility in Beaumont. The nonprofit offers personal and career-oriented workshops and classes for young Southeast Texans and Hispanic people of all ages here in the Golden Triangle. For Tanya, it's all part of her life's mission. Also for Hispanic Heritage Month tonight, Caesar Beati with the Community Relations Division of the Beaumont Police Department. He is hosting a Spanish language town hall style meeting, and it is part of an ongoing effort to build trust and share resources directly with the Spanish speaking residents here in Southeast Texas. That meeting starts at 6:30 p.m. at Our Lady of the Assumption Catholic Church in the Avenues neighborhood.
409 Sports, brought to you by Golden Triangle Emergency Center, Orange.
And speaking of 409 Sports Blitz Game of the Week, the Friday Night Lights, it's going to feature the 1-2 Lumberton Raiders up against the undefeated Bridge City Cardinals. Kickoff is 7:30 Friday. Also, be sure to get in your vote for the 12 News Band of the Week. Go to 12newsnow.com/band to decide whether it's going to be the Raiders or the Cardinals who take home the bragging rights this week. And when 12 News Daybreak returns here on 12 News Plus, we're going to have more news and weather in your morning rush out as we take a live look above Lake Charles. Your time is now 7:52.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue.
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers,
Filtering out rumors and giving you the facts, direct from inside sources.
ExxonMobil and lawyers for the United Steelworkers.
Taking on the story from all sides.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection last year.
Southeast Texas is a power city, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, don't mess with Texas, means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, don't mess with Texas means don't litter.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip, cleaning up safely. After the storm has passed, avoid damaged or fallen power lines, poles, and downed wires in case of electrocution. Wear appropriate protective equipment including gloves, goggles, and boots. Clean and disinfect everything that got wet, and when moving heavy debris, work with a partner. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Welcome back to Daybreak. Just about to turn 7:55 right now, and that means it's time for your Thursday morning rush out. Here's everything you need to know as you start your day. First up, a former Beaumont teacher has been found not guilty after being accused of hitting a student. Gladys Jackson, she was charged with injury to a child, and prosecutors say that she slapped a 6-year-old first grader in the mouth back in 2022. But her attorney Ryan Gertz said that that child had attacked another teacher before being put into Jackson's classroom. They also claimed that that child had had fights with several other students. And everyone's okay this morning after this crazy crash yesterday in Beaumont. Take a look at these images. The driver in this white Toyota smashed into the flagship mailroom on Dowland Road, going through the glass. That store says that it's going to be closed for a few days while they make repairs and get back to business. The owner's thankful that the driver and their workers are safe. And a major water leak on 8th Street in Port Arthur has been fixed. However, a citywide boil water notice remains in effect this morning. According to the city, there was little to no water pressure yesterday, affecting several businesses, forcing them to close early. We'll have an update once that notice is lifted.
Here's a look at radar, and we do have some showers right along the coast. That's where the front is for this morning. Some heavy downpours towards the Port Arthur area, and as we get down towards the Bean Pass. It's not going to stick around all day. Matter of fact, they shouldn't stick around all morning. They should be moving off towards the east, and then what's going to set us up for a beautiful forecast through the next 7 days. Dry, highs in the 80s, lows in the 60s.
And before we go, check this out. NASA gearing up for a mission to the moon and eventually Mars. Artemis 2, a crewed flight around the moon, is slated for April of next year to test systems for deep space travel. NASA says that their goal is to learn to live on the moon. So just a quick trip around the moon. I wonder how long that'll take them.
I don't know.
It was 4 days, I think, for the Apollo missions usually, or something like that. So that's super interesting. Would you ever go to the moon, Jeff?
I wouldn't mind going to the moon. I don't think I'd want to go to Mars.
Okay.
But I wouldn't mind the moon.
Mars is too far.
Yeah.
Need a bathroom break. All right. Thanks for watching Daybreak on 12 News Plus.
Have a great day, everybody.